Okay, and then after getting nectar, the sources of nectar, they always have to fly back to the beehive. And when they come back, they don't enter direct, but what they do, they stand outside and make what we call a buzzing noise. They come and jump and stay afloat in front of the what? In front of the beehive and make what we call a buzzing noise. That buzzing noise will be calling other beehives, other bees to come and follow them up where they have discovered the what? The nectar sources. Okay, so what they do, they lead the way and go and take around maybe 20 or 30, and they go and collect nectar. After collecting nectar, they will be coming back direct. But when they reach the beehive, they are not each individual bee is going to enter and take the honey to the honey chambers inside. Okay, what they do, they use what we call a chain. These ones which have collected the nectar from the field will come and then feed the nectar into the next mouth, the next bee's mouth, and then it will be taken in a chain sort of, until it reaches the honey chambers, okay? And then it will be deposited there. So once the honey reaches the honey chambers, there is a time which is supposed to take in order for the honey to mature, okay? Like when you're preparing tea, you prepare tea and maybe you put it in a flask. But the moment the flask is full, you have to seal it, in order not for the tea to lose the heat, okay? Likewise, after filling the honey chambers, and when the honey has ripened a bit, it is capped, okay? Sort of storage, It is stored, and then it is capped. And after being capped, it will remain in that state for a very long period of what? A very long period of time. So during that time, when they have capped all the honey in the honey chambers, they tend to become a bit aggressive. Have you ever seen chicken? When still laying eggs, it's a bit docile, but when time comes for incubating, for brooding, they become a bit hostile, because they are guarding something. Okay. So likewise, for the bees, when they are still when they are still making honey, they are not all that hostile. But the moment honey is there in full, they become a bit defensive and hostile, because they know that any time, they are going to get attackers who are going to come and take away the what? The honey. Okay. The honey is not supposed to be for us human beings. It's supposed to be the food for the what?
For the queen.
Bees. But the moment we detect that the honey is there, we always go there and try to steal the honey. All right? We are thieves in other words. So what they have to do is to defend their food. So the moment the honey is in place, they have to become a bit aggressive. And the signs that which can show you that the honey is almost there, you can see them making what we call clusters. They will start ganging up in front of the beehive. And the moment you make a stride of going near them, they try to attack you. All right? The smell of honey, once you approach the apiary, you get some bit of. Do you know how honey smells? You get that sweet scent which comes out, and then you can easily take that honey is almost what? It's almost ready. So what we normally do, we have got records for each and every beehive there, and then we go and check and try to see how long it has been in existence from the last harvest, and then we come and detect whether the honey is there, and then we can embark on the harvesting the methods and how to go about it. So what we normally do, we come here in the evenings around 7:30, and then we come equipped. We get what we call some equipments which will help us to harvest the honey. We have the bee knife. The bee knife is something which is a bit hard, which we use to open the lid. That lid which you see there, you can see it as if it's just seated there like this, but the moment you reach there, you cannot just get it off. It is being strengthened by putting bit of wax called propolis, which seals it off, so there is no entrance of any other insect which can enter through there. So it's strengthened by putting propolis. So you have to use a lot of energy to open it. So if you don't have a bee knife, you cannot open it. Then you have what we call a smoker. A smoker is just a simple gadget where we put charcoal, light charcoal, or burning charcoal, and then we put in some bit of straw to cause a lot of thick smell, thick smoke. That thick smoke will have to antagonize these bees. Once you puff in the smoke, then they get somehow disturbed, okay? They get somehow disturbed, and they run to the honey chambers, collect as much honey as possible so that they can run away, and then they can come and fill it back when the conditions. Give them like maybe 6-7 seconds to go and get some bit of honey. You see, the moment they get honey, they fill their abdomen. These are insects which have got 3 parts, which you know very well: the head and the abdomen. So what we do, we allow them some time to go and fill the abdomen a bit, because if the abdomen is not filled well, it will be very easy to articulate so that they can easily sting you. Okay? Once it's not filled with honey, it will not be stiff. So they can easily turn it around to sting you. So you allow them some time to go and get the honey from the honey chamber so that the abdomen becomes a bit stiff. Once it's a bit stiff, it will be very difficult for the bee to articulate it in any direction in order to sting you. So you'll be getting less stings in case you allow them time to go and get some bit of honey. Okay? Because the abdomen will be what? Will be a bit filled. So what happens, we fold them up immediately, and then we puff again so that you can antagonize them a bit, and then we go to the honey chambers, and then we bypass the queen chambers, because that's where the queen is. We bypass the queen chambers, and then we go to the honey chambers, and we get out the honey, and you have to look at the honey. But you have to get help of we use a lighting system to enable us to see, because it's night hours, and then we use what we call bee brush, which has got very fine blisters which cannot injure the bees, and then we scrap them off like this, and then we have to look. If you see that the honey is not capped well, that means that the honey is not yet ripe. But once you see that it's well capped, then that will be a proper indication that the honey is ready to be what? To be harvested. So we harvest it as quick as possible and put it in what we call an airtight bucket. You see, honey is highly hygroscopic. It can easily attract moisture from the surroundings, okay? So if you don't have an airtight bucket, what means that means that the honey is going to attract a lot of moisture. The moment you harvest it and then you just put it in the open, you may harvest around maybe 10 kilograms of honey, but by the end of the harvesting exercise, you may end up having around 15 kilograms, okay, diluted honey, because it will have to attract a lot of moisture from the what? From the surroundings, okay? And then it will be a tug of war for you to fight off the what? The excess bees, okay? So what we do is we put it in an airtight bucket to avoid honey from attracting the moisture from the atmosphere, and secondly, to fight off all these straying bees, which would have caused havoc to you. So the moment you finish with that, you have to place back all the hives in their original place, and then put the lids back, and then you have to take off as quickly as possible. All right? But when you are leaving the apiary, you don't have to go in a straight direction. For example, if you came in through here, when you are leaving the apiary, you're not supposed to use the main entrance. Okay? You have to go through the bushes. That's why you see that it's surrounded with trees and shrubs. Okay? You have to either take the other direction so that you can minimize on the tracking, so that they don't track you, because they can even track you up to your doorstep, up to your home. They act like soldiers, okay? So the moment you go through a straight line, they can follow you up and even injure people whom you have left at what? At home. So when you are going, you have to go through the bushes, meandering, so that they can lose track of you, all right? And then you go and reach home, and then maybe you start extracting the honey, and then you get the honey from the rest of the debris, okay? So basically, that's what we do here. And we also keep data of the different beehives and the different output from those those beehives. All right? Yeah. Questions so far? Yes. What flavor do you get from honey? We get basically carbohydrates. Eh? We get carbohydrates, but apart from honey, there are other more useful benefits that we can get from the bees. For example, we have got what we call royal jelly. Royal jelly is highly nutritious in terms of proteins. Once you get it, it's a very good diet. You can boost your immunity. Then we have got what we call bee venom. Bee venom, once you get stung by the bee, you get that bit of venom. The bee venom. The bee venom will boost your immunity. In that if you have been falling sick from malaria from time to time, you can even take 2 weeks or 3 weeks without suffering from what? From malaria. And we usually take it as a joke whenever you come to harvest here. We make sure that at least you leave when you have been stung at least with 2 or 3 bees so that you can get the immunity. All right? Failure to do so, then you can go out without the immunity that you would have deserved to what? To get. All right? Then you have got the propolis. Propolis is used mainly to smoothen our faces. Okay? You are still young, you have not started growing beards and whatever, but it's used as an aftershave. And in case of ladies who want to remain young almost all throughout their lifetime, the moment you use propolis and then you mix it very well with some jelly and then you smear it around your body, you always look young. You will never grow wrinkles. Okay? Propolis is also another what? Another product from there. And then you have got what we call bee pollen. Bee pollen can also be mixed in porridge for the infants, even adults, and then you get very good proteins, plant proteins, because they collect pollen from different crops. Okay, more especially during the growing season. So you can get pollen from maize, pollen from beans, pollen from other trees and shrubs, and then once they are mixed, they come and then you can trap it from their legs as they enter to take the nectar there, and then once it's collected, it can easily be consumed in its raw form, and then you get the benefits out of it. All right? So those are some of the other products that we can get as a result of what? Keeping bees. Yes.
What type of fertilization do bees carry out?
Fertilization. I think it's cross-pollination between crops. Okay? Yeah.
What type of fertilization do bees undergo?
Fertilization do bees undergo? Bees. Okay, there are 3 categories of bees in the hive. Okay? We have got workers, which you can even see outside right now. The ones which are moving out, they're almost invisible because you cannot see it outside. It's always in the queen chambers. And then you have got the drones, which are the male bees. Okay? What happens? Fertilization takes place outside the what? Outside the beehive. When time comes for fertilization, the queen bee moves out of the what? Moves out of the queen chambers and then comes out of the beehive, and then it will get a suitable place, maybe on a tree or at the ground, but they usually mate on the tree. Okay? And then the drones will have to follow the what? The queen. But it will be only one drone which will have a chance of fertilizing the what? The queen, and then after fertilizing the queen, it will have to die there and then. All right. And then the queen will have to go back in the what? In the queen chambers, and then to start laying eggs. In a season, it can lay around 500,000 eggs. All right. It lays as many eggs as what? As possible. All right. And then it will be the responsibility of the workers to put these eggs in the queen in the cells. Okay, so that they can hatch into the next generation what? Bees. And bees don't have a long lifespan. They live for only 18 days. Yeah. So all those ones which you see within 18 days will be dead. All right. And then you shall have a new generation which is going to come up. All right. Yeah. They have got a short lifespan, and once it comes and stings you, then that will be the end of it all.
Then how long do the eggs get to hatch?
The eggs hatch within a period of around 2-3 weeks, and then they hatch. Yeah. Yes.
What factors
As an economic activity. Basically, the initial stages, the cost of the beehives is too high. The modern beehives, the initial costs are too high. Then secondly, the climatic conditions. The climatic condition, you cannot practice apiary anywhere. For example, here we are just forcing them to be here. But there are some designated areas, like the cattle corridor areas. Talk of areas like Nakasongola, talk of areas like Bali, areas like Palisa. Those ones are, the bees are indigenous in those areas. So you just have to place, even if you don't have these modern beehives, you'll have a lot of bees moving around, okay, in the cattle corridor areas. But in places like here, we're just forcing them to be here. Yes. So that can be one of the hindrances. And then another problem is the expertise. Most people fear bees. They don't want to work with bees because they know that they can be, they are disastrous what? They are disastrous insects, but they can easily be worked. You can easily work with them once you know their norms. Once you know how they behave. But not so many people. Even people who have learned entomology as a subject tend to fear to work with the bees. All right? Yeah, so we do still lack expertise from all corners. So those are one of the hindrances. And then another problem is that the way we harvest our honey is a crude way, it's a rudimentary way, whereby our farmers don't get what they deserve to get out, because they use rudimentary ways of harvesting, and even the product is spoiled. Okay, but the moment we get expertise and we harvest honey in a safe way, the honey can be sold, and has got the market is, you cannot even satisfy the what?
Market.
The market, yes. But you have to teach our farmers how to go about it. So those are the hindrances, some of the obstacles which are still affecting the industry. Yes. And maybe another thing is that we are operating on a low scale, such that we don't get as much out of this as we would have got. For example, I've got a company of around six whites who are coming from Sweden. For them, they move around with us. And whenever they go with us, they are interested in the loyal jelly. So they exploit our farmers a lot. So when they come to our apiary, they get the loyal jelly. Because within the chambers, they know how to go about it. They get the loyal jelly. And after getting the loyal jelly, they can maybe give a farmer maybe around 1 million per harvest. But they take the loyal jelly to their countries and then bring it in another form. Do you know this House of Health, the Swiss Guard and whatever? So they go and get maybe like a kilo, like not like around 25 mils of loyal jelly. They can bring around maybe 2 tons of those tablets from those designated houses of health and whatever, and they sell it in millions and millions of money here. And at times, some farmers are just ignorant. They can even depart from your apiary and then give you maybe 500,000 when they have taken actually millions and millions of money from you. They also collect bee venom from our bees here. But I've now tried to make an agreement with them that whenever they go to farmers, they have to give them the amount they deserve, because they also exploit us a lot. All right. So on part of ignorance, some of our farmers, even our experts, whom we take as experts, they have not yet known the benefits from the bees. So all those are obstacles and hindrances which can not allow the industry to grow to more heights. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Are we through? Yes. You can proceed. So this time you are going to leave scone free, but you have lost because you have not got the venom. But last time you got the venom, isn't it? Were you among the group which got the venom here?
Yes.
No. Who is mainly grown in where?
In Budo and Mukono.
Okay, in Uganda, Mukono and Bundibujo.
Yes.
But widely as a country, which country is it?
Ghana.
Right? Yes. Cocoa is one of the which can be grown on a commercial basis, and it grows on a wide range of soils, okay? But this quite
Ebibala byennyini.
ngenda bino kamala okufuna
1,500
explaininga eddoboozi
meters.
liri
Okay?
bategeteeko.
And then another big need for cocoa are the shades, okay? Do you see those tall trees over there? They are not there by mistake. They are there by design because cocoa needs shade, okay? Where it's not under shade, it will not perform well, okay? It needs shade from other trees, right? And for cocoa to grow into a mature crop, it will take a period of around 3 years, okay? For it to firstly bear the fruits. We have got two types of cocoa. We have the ones which have got green pods right from the start, and the ones which have got those purple pods. You see the purple pods over there? Yeah. Eh? And then the ones which are green, but on ripening, they all turn what? Turn yellow. However, it has got a disease what we call the capsids. Capsids is a disease which attacks the pods, and then they shrink and they blacken, okay? They rot on top. Have you seen them? It's a fungal disease which can be eradicated by use of fungicides. Eh? So what we normally do, we cut out what we call pruning by cutting off excess branches, as they are now cutting out pruning. You can see the branches which are down there. Eh? So after using on the canopy, then we can spray, all right? We can spray with fungicides, and then we eradicate that what? We minimize the incidence of the what? Of the disease, okay? Yeah. So after growing, after on ripening, the pods turn yellowish, as you can see them, eh? And then we have pluck the yellow pods which are ready, which have ripened, and then you have to bisect them into two, and then you get the seeds inside. Eh? They are together with what we call mucilage, which is a slimy substance, white in color, and then it's a bit sweet. Okay, so they chew it, and then after chewing it, you can either plant the seed directly, because the moment you leave it dry, it will never germinate. All right. So if you want to come up with your own plantation, you have to use the seed as when it's still fresh, and then you plant it there again. Okay. Then, having done that, you can plant it out, and then you get the next generation crop out of it, and you can continue like that. Okay. Yeah. So basically, cocoa. I don't have so much research about cocoa, and the expert is not with us here. Yeah? Yes. Maybe if you get a chance, you can consult him, because I know he's now at the office. But because of time, I wanted just to talk briefly about it. Yes. Yeah. Let's move.
These are the purple pods.
The banana mother garden. This is where we get suckers, okay? Which we supply to the farmers, okay?
Yes.
What you see here is the mother garden, and in here we don't allow these bananas to bear bunches. We don't expect to get fruit from here, but we want to harvest as many suckers as what?
Possible.
As possible. So what you see here are the different varieties. You see, you have got different varieties, the food types, okay? Now, once you see they are closely spaced. Yeah? The spacing is close. Yeah?
Yes.
And the reason is that we don't want them to grow into big bananas. But the moment they reach this size, the size is slightly higher than that one. Within maybe a period of around 2 weeks from now, we are going to carry out an operation on them. Eh? So what we do, we cut a small incision down here, okay, in a V shape, and then we reach the middle part of the banana. And once we reach the middle part of the banana, this banana is going to die slowly by what? Slowly by slowly. And then it will start withering and wilting from top, okay? Because there will be no supply of nutrients from the down parts to the upper parts, okay? And during the process of dying, it will produce as many suckers as possible in order to succeed it, okay? So it will be producing so many suckers around it like this. And that will be our goal, because for us we want to get suckers which we can supply to the what? To the farmers. So that time we call it, in agriculture we call it decapitation. We decapitate so that it can produce as many suckers as possible. So what will happen? It will die eventually, and then we cut it off, and then we remain with the suckers. It can produce around 20-25 suckers, and then we prick them, and then we remain with only one in place, which is going to be taking on so that it will grow into it will grow up to this size, and then we will also carry out decapitation. So this is a continuous way of getting as many suckers as possible. And I wanted just to talk about it briefly here, because we are not going to come back to these ends. You are going to learn about other agronomic practices when you go the other side, okay? So that's what I wanted to show you here. And these are different varieties, the food types. We have got Imbazirume, we have got Musakala, and other varieties. The list is endless, okay? So when you come, you just have to tell us that I want Impologoma, I want this and that, and then they come here and then get you the sucker that you do what? That you want, okay?
Okay, how much is sucker?
A sucker goes at 1,000 shillings each. Yeah. And this type of venture, you can get a lot of money, because like around like this block alone, you can get, within a season you can get around 12 million out of this if you are selling suckers. Yes. All right. So it's a very good lucrative business which you can get, where you can get money with ease.
Have you had,
okay?
during your vacation you do that business?
And then life becomes soft on you. Right? Yeah, we can proceed unless you have some questions. Questions so far? No? Yeah, you are.
So in the meantime, can we thank this gentleman for being a very good teacher? Everybody, I said it again.
Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Bazani.
Which class is this? Let's go down there. That shade first. Start from there. Come to learn. You will not learn alone. You are by yourself. This one is a nursery for agroforestry. You ever heard of nurseries? Yes. I hope you were in nursery. But this is a nursery of trees. When you were in nurseries, how big were you? You are small. So, trees also have nurseries when they are small. Yeah. Why do we need nurseries for trees? If you remember why you were in nurseries, then you answer this. Why do we need nurseries for trees?
Prevent the young trees from harsh conditions.
Come on, I'm sure on the other hand. You're trying this side, what is happening? You want answers? There are very many answers. What is it? You don't have answers. If you don't try, you don't learn. So who is trying? Don't know that we learn by trying. Why do we need nurseries for trees? That was the question.
Be audible.
Up.
In order for them to get good care.
Mm-hmm.
Prevent growing up trees from direct sunlight.
Mm-hmm. You are trying. You see, all those answers are very good. Yes. Mm-hmm. Is that all? Let me ask you a question. You go to markets, both roadside markets and even the other markets like Nakasero. Who has found a seed for trees there? Eh? Have you ever found the tree seed
No.
on the market? Yes. Why do you think you don't find it there? And yet it is in market. But why do you think you don't find it there? Let's be fast, because if we are fast, we shall finish. Yes.
There's direct sunlight.
Why don't we find the seed in the open market there?
Because they can easily be stepped by people.
I have seed here. It is a seed. If it is here, I can't step on it. Who is trying? I want you to try. When you try, you use your brain and become sharper. Eh? What's happening there? Yes.
People do not care about seeds.
They don't care. You don't use in Uganda here. There is nothing more expensive than all the seed, than tree seed. Because some seed costs 2 million 1 kilogram. Yes. So you can't say they don't care. Don't you want to get money? If you want to get money, try.
In markets
Be
there
audible.
is no good soil for
Market?
growing.
No, market there in the market like in Nakasero. Don't we grow seed in the market? It is there to be sold. Okay. Yes, okay, you are trying. Where? The market. Same. Okay. Now, first of all, tree seed is very expensive. And some seed is not easy to get. Yeah? Expensive and not easy to get. And when it is got, it needs to be stored in proper conditions to preserve it for some time. Otherwise, if you left it in the open market like we find in maize, beans, whatever, some seed just lasts 2 days. If you don't plant it in 2 days, you will not use it again until another fruiting season. So tree seed, or which was trying proper conditions, it needs to be stored in proper conditions, like refrigerators. And it is not easily got, because some of the seed like pine scarabea from Australia, 1 kilogram is 2 million. You see? So it is not easy. How do we get tree seed? We get tree seed in many different ways. Mangoes, that one you know. Eh?
Yeah.
You go pick a mango, you eat, you drop the seed. You have already got the seed. Oranges the same. You squeeze, you get the seed. But some trees, you have either to climb or cut it down. Or if not, put a net and drop the seed and get it from there. Because some seed, if it drops down, after a few hours, it loses viability. It dies. It does not germinate. Some big seeded varieties, those are easy to get. But they are small ones. Who has seen, who knows the calitons or eucalyptus? Do you know? Yes. Have you seen the seed?
No.
Yep. Who has seen? I want you to tell us, how does it look like? Yes. Huh? Huh? Okay, try to describe. I want your friends to know. Who is trying? Okay. Did you hear what he said? Have you seen the... Oh yeah, it's common. This ground tea leaves. Eh? So the seed of eucalyptus, you may mistake it to be tea leaves. They are very small. So those, you have no way of picking if you allowed it to land on the ground, because you will not see it. So what we do, when the seeds are ripe, you have to cut the tree, or you climb and get the branches, then you put a cavera, then you dry there, they open, then they drop there, then you correct. Is that okay? Because those are very small. You can't, if it dropped down there, you will not see. So that's one of the problems with tree seed. And now here in the nursery, we have two types of seed bed. Some people confuse. They call the whole thing here that it is a nursery bed. This is a nursery. Where in the nursery we have two types of seed beds. Nursery beds. There is a seed bed where we plant seed. Then there is a transplant bed where younger seedlings grow from. That okay? Don't confuse. Don't call it a nursery bed. It is a nursery where you find two types of seed beds. The one for the seed and the one for the younger trees. Eh? The other one is called the transplant bed, because after transplanting the trees, then you put in that bed. Sometime back it used to be a bed constructed, but these days, because we use polythene bags, you just put them in line and they make that bed. You can see all those you see are transplant beds where they are young seedlings growing. Now in the seed bed, where we sow the seed, we normally sow seed of small seed in the nursery bed, in the seed bed. But if you have big seeds like this one you can plant it direct in the pot because it is easier. But the other one, like I told you, eucalyptus, caritoons, very small, we sow it in the seed bed. With those small types of seed, if you buried it with a lot of soil, it will not germinate. So what we do, we mix it with the sand. Then we spread it. We spread it on the top of the bed. Now in the bed here, especially here, we use mostly sand. Why do we use sand? We use sand because sand does not have clay in it. Because if it had clay would adhere to the roots. So pulling it, the roots would break. But in the sand, just pull and it comes. Is that okay? But before the sand, we put some small stones here, down, for drainage. Because if the stones were not there, when you water, the water would flood. Because it has nowhere to go. But when we pour water and sink down there, there are small stones, the water will move and go down. It will not flood. Is it okay? You know the condition is for seed growing. You have people doing science. It is not soil, but here we use the sand for easy. We call it pricking out, pulling the seed out. We say pricking out. Here we have some seed of umbrella. So I'm going to pull it out. You see, it comes out easily without a problem. If it was this other soil with the clay, you pull either it breaks here or the root breaks. But here it easily comes out from the sand. Is that okay? Yes. So this pulling out of the seed, the younger seedling, from the seed bed, we call it pricking out. Now, how do you hold the younger seedling? Have you seen how I'm holding? Yes, you don't hold any other part, only below the young leaves, because that is the only sturdy part of the crop. Because if you held the leaves, there is that tender crop growing, you may break it. Then there is this other part below. which we call root corer, between the stem and the root. When the seedling is still young, that place is very tender. If you touch it, it would break, and if it breaks, then your seedling will die. So that's why we only hold here when we are breaking out. Could someone help me? There were some empty pots there. Those small plastic with the soil. Get me one. Just send it here. This one has a plant in it. I want an empty one. Hey, why are you playing? Oh, there. You get me one from those ones there. So, we call this our pot, though it is not of clay. You get me? Yeah. Why do we use pots for our seedlings? Because they're easier to transplant. I mean, to transport. When you want to take seedlings to, let's say, you bought here and maybe you are taking them very far to cover, they are easier. And also to manage. Because here, this part is open at both ends. One is where you put the seedlings, the other end is where the seeds come from. But when they are in the nursery here, they are not supposed to be here permanently. So any seed that comes out here, we cut it down. What we call root pruning. We prune the roots. I'm going to show you how we break out. Aida. Uchibonga sibulaba. Sometimes we use small pieces of trees or pieces of iron, but we call them Budo, to make holes in the soil. Make soil a hole in between here. Then you insert. Please make sure you can see this thing is having two distinctive colors. The upper one is green, then from here brownish gray. So when you are pricking this one, don't bury until the neck. It must stop where that brown part is marked. Don't bury it beyond the root collar. It will be suffocating it. You have to press the sides so that you press the soil to adhere to the roots. Because if you don't, this thing is big, and the root was small. What will happen will be this. Here it will be attached to the soil, then inside it will be dangling. So it will not get water from the sides of the soil. For example, if this was the soil and it was like this, it would be in the open. So eventually the crop will die because it will not be getting water. So you press the sides of the pot that the soil adheres to the root, then it starts getting water from there. So now we have pricked out our seedling. Now it is ready to go to the transplant bed, where now the watering, the root pruning until you take it out comes from. Is that okay? Now, when the trees are here, they are easier to manage other than when they are in the field. That's why we need what? The nursery. Because here in this seed bed here, we might have about 5,000 or more seedlings.